Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here for you for another manga chapter review. This is going to be manga chapter 12 for Kagurabachi, title Preparations. I have my phone off to the side, that's why I'm going to keep looking down. And we're going to start from the top all the way to the bottom. And this chapter came out super early. It's only 10 in the morning. It came out way early. That is really cool. I mean, now I don't have to stay up till almost 3. I might have to do it for my hero, but now I don't have to stay up till almost 3 for Kagurabachi. It came out really early last week too, around 4 in the afternoon. But my review came out really late because, well, Thanksgiving. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, one thing that kind of confused me throughout this whole chapter was I thought it was like a time skip because something happened at the end. And I'm like, oh, was there that big amount of time already passed? But no, it doesn't so I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. So at the very beginning of the chapter, we get the leader of this group's name. And the leader is the guy with the glasses and the weird hair, but he's the only one wearing glasses. So it's the guy with the glasses. And his name is Kanabachi. Kanabachi. And Chihiro, the Twin Castles. So him and his whole group were just thinking about what they're gonna do about tracking down Sojo. Because they're all Sojo left in such a hurry, he can't just disappear, so he had to leave some sort of trace. When we get any information on when we're gonna fight this guy, or when we get any information at all, we're gonna contact you as soon as we know. And the whole group just leaves. Then it's just Chihiro and Mr. Sabi inside the hospital room. Mr. Sabi asks Chihiro how is he feeling. Obviously, Chihiro's I'm still hurting pretty bad, but I can still move. And he's really beaten up himself about his arm, specifically his right arm, being completely destroyed. And then Mr. Sabi just kind of looks at Chihiro, and he starts to feel bad for him because he knows the kind of guy Chihiro is. He says Chihiro's probably thinking to himself, he must be asking himself, what can I do? What should I do? You can make the right choice by basking on it and your convictions. And there was one little funny panel of a flashback when I thought Chihiro was 18, because in this flashback panel he says, I remember when you were 18 years old. So I'm guessing he's 19, because he's not 20, 21 yet. I guess he's 19. It was a flashback panel to where I don't know why, but he has these really big pants on, and he's pulling them all the way up towards his neck. And I don't know why he's doing it, but Mr. Sabi's whoa, amazing, just like a sword. And Azuma spitting out his juice laughing. I don't know why Chihiro's doing this, maybe for training, but he's thinking about that. Anyway, right after that, I'm guessing this is either Mr. Sabi's phone or Chihiro's phone, either one. The phone starts to ring, and Chihiro looks at it. Right after that, we cut to, I'm guessing this is the base of operations for Sojo's group, or maybe just one of the buildings. I would guess not the main base of operations, because this building, when we see it, is a really worn down, tore up building. It still could be his, but who knows. But we see this building that's tore up, and a couple of guys are in there henchmen for him, just talking about Sojo, how cool he is. They specifically say Sojo's super strong, so he doesn't really even need those sorcerer bodyguards that's outside standing guard. He's pretty strong on his own, so he doesn't really need these guys. But hey, if we got him, we got him. One guy specifically goes out to go pee, and they're yeah, go ahead, man. And then we cut to Sojo inside of a sauna house, and he starts to think about the battle he just had with Chihiro. When he, not confessed, but when he spat out by accident that he was his dad's son. I've been saying this for weeks, but I gotta figure out how to say his dad's name properly. But he was really surprised about that. Because in none of the legends, none of the readings or anything, there was no mention of him having a son. 2, there was no mention about Chihiro's blade. And he was also really surprised that Chihiro knew what kind of blade he had. He said maybe he had some good perception or something like that, but no, he might have actually been telling the truth. He might have actually been his son, because he actually knew what my blade could do. That would make sense if that was his son, right? And he just has all these thoughts. He had all these thoughts going through his head. He thinking to himself he needs to fight Chihiro again. He says, perception. He needs to fight Chihiro again. And he also remembers when Chihiro spat out the same words his dad spat out. Obviously, Sojo doesn't know that, but when Chihiro said to destroy evil, to save the weak. That's all it amounts to. Anyway, after that, some guy comes in and throws a briefcase on the ground, and this briefcase has a little box in it. So, in this conversation, Last week we learned about the Don Kaiseki, that raw material inside the Mystic Blades that lets you use the Mystic powers of the Mystic Blade. But normally you can't really use it like that because it's so powerful. The human body can't contain it, and you blow up. You blow up, basically. And for some reason, Chihito's dad was the only person that was actually able to harness his power and put it into a Mystic Blade without any ill effects. Oh yeah, and there was also another thing to where either you blow up and die, or if you use it for longer than, who knows, but if you use it like more than once, I guess, you'll get some sort of illness and you'll die anyway. But Chihito's dad was able to use it and modify it in a way to where you won't blow up or die from an illness. So that was pretty cool. Anyway, this guy comes with a briefcase. And Sojo's like, why are you bringing me the goods? Like, the briefcase here. This guy is mad because apparently, I guess, Sojo gave him whatever experimental Dasiki thing they were working on. Not Dasiki. It sounded like Dasiki, that technique Chihito used, but it wasn't Dasiki. But you guys know I'm talking about the raw material. Last week, Sojo and his group were working on some sort of thing with Char because of her regeneration powers. They're going to use her regeneration powers in some way, plus trying to recreate how to use the raw material without dying. So I don't know what they're doing. I guess they made a prototype. Okay, I'm back. I guess he gave him some sort of prototype of that because he said whatever Sojo gave this guy to use, it didn't work as planned, and it killed like his best sorcerer he had on his team. So he's mad about it. And Sojo's like, no, it did go to according to plan. Obviously, the guy's mad because it killed some of his top subordinates. So he has 2 guys with him, sends them right after Sojo while he's in like this sauna bathtub. And the very next panel, he's already killed them all. Without even getting out the bathtub. It's like he's in like the exact same spot. So that's kind of wild. And later on, we find out he didn't even have his Mystic Blade. Because when he starts to get out of the tub, dry himself off, get his clothes back on, his blade is behind the counter with this old lady. He goes, give me that blade. That's really important. And part of me is like, won't you have this like right next to you in the tub? How do you give this to his old lady? I mean, if he's coming to this bathhouse to get completely naked and stuff, to just chill in a tub, I'm guessing this is part of his organization and group. But still, that was wild. That was really wild. There was one more thing he said. He said he wanted to fight Chihito again so he can understand what he was talking about and understand the mystic swords. And then he starts to get dressed. He puts on his clothes. He said, I have to fight that guy one more time. I have to do it even if it's a chance to truly understand his son. I must understand everything next time. For understanding everything about this sword, it will be perfect for warming. Oh, never mind. This is when we get the really cool scene in the very next panel. So he says this would be perfect for warming up after he gets dressed and walks out the bathhouse. Obviously thinking, like, what is he talking about? The very next panel, we see that group of people that was meant to kill Sojo standing like on the air. Well, no, not on the air, but they're standing on like a building in front of him. And the leader, actually they changed his name. Baya. Abaya, he was really surprised that Sojo doesn't seem surprised that they're there. So he goes, wait a second, so you knew we were here this whole time. That's why you look so calm. Like, who would look calm when you walk out and there's like 4+ guys there just waiting for you? Obviously, he knew they were there. He goes, dang it. We couldn't even sneak up on you. That doesn't matter, though. Let's do this. And then Sojo, he says, well, my body is all warmed up now. And you see all the clouds and smoke start to form around his arms. And in the very next panel, we see those same guys that were just talking to each other. And they're like, yo, where did that 4th guy go? He's been peeing for a while. And they see a goldfish fly past them. So I'm like, yo, that gotta be Chihito, right? But how? Like, he should still be so hurt and his right arm should be like mangled right now. And they didn't say none of these panels was like a month later or 2 months later. But obviously after a month, that's when the auction happened. So, but there was like no time frame. They were like, no week later, nothing like that. Then in the very next panel, all 3 of those guys look down the hallway and they can kind of see something in the darkness, but they kind of look nervous. So one guy grabs his phone, picks it up, tries to call the other guy, like, yo, where are you? What's going on? And so then he looks up. His two buddies are dead. Chihito's just sitting there in a chair right in front of him. And the guy's like, what should I do? What does this mysterious gaze desire to know? Kagurabachi, chapter 12, and no break next week. This guy's a monster. He's still pushing through with amazing art. And this is nice. This is really nice. Amazing art. And, just keep it going. I wonder how much longer before he takes a break. When we do see Abaya in this group, it does specifically says he's a captain. And he's a special Kurgi Mugi battle squad. And that was pretty cool. This was a good chapter. I like it. But like I said, Chihito should still be pretty hurt from the battle he just had with Sojo, because it's been at least 5 days, but he's still pretty hurt. And his right arm is mangled. Is he still going to fight with his right arm mangled? I mean, I guess he could, but I mean, I guess he could somewhat fight if he killed those two guys, but that wasn't really a fight. But I mean, like a fight, who knows? I guess next chapter we get to see what those guys can do, this whole squad, because they said they're specifically made to kill him, so I'm guessing some of whatever their abilities they can do, they're going to be specific counters to Sojo's abilities, so I guess we'll see. Are they going to kill Sojo? And they might get him weak, because there are 5 of them, and I'm guessing they're decently strong, unless Sojo just wipes the floor with them. That'd be kind of wild. Maybe they might get him weak, and he might beat them, and then Chihito and Sojo can fight. I guess it'll be somewhat even, because if Sojo's hurt, it'll be more even, because Chihito's still pretty hurt, even though he's fighting with a right arm mangled, so it could be somewhat even there. Other than that, I guess whatever else that could happen is Mr. Sabi and Chihito. Well, Mr. Sabi isn't here, but I'm pretty sure he will want to come help Chihito save Char. But that was the whole plan, for them to go kill Sojo and him to sneak around and save Char. So I'm guessing he's going to get the information from this guy where Char is and then go save her. And probably it won't be as easy as that, but well, obviously there's going to be some obstacles in the way, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. So, oh, what? Don't tell me. Phew. I thought this was something else. So there are notifications. I thought it was something else. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. I thank you all for watching. I think you all there will be wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. All right.